about job creation, we're going to be talking about power, we're going to be talking about SMEs, we're going to be talking about interest rates, which we know that they are slashing interest rates in Africa. But I'm very passionate that this session we can also look at SDG, because that's very critical to the development of Africa. And also we'll be looking at pension funds, how we can utilize the pension funds to develop Africa's infrastructural deficits. Then we'll also, hopefully we can also talk about diaspora investment. So we'll leave you to give us just a 5-minute presentation of your expertise.
Well, thank you very much. I'm Godwin Okri, I'm a barrister. And I'm not known for giving long speeches without being paid. But look, what is it that would benefit Africa and for us in the diaspora? My take is real estate. And I'm going to present pure economic arguments for you. Economic arguments that benefit you as investors, and economic arguments that benefit Africa as a whole. Look, my take, I think one of the key questions is the creation of jobs. Did you know that if you apply the principle of inverse benefit, which means that the currency that you're holding at the moment, which is pounds, would stretch more in Africa. So if you invest in properties in Africa, you will get wonderful yield. The investment that you're going to put in Africa would have a multiplier effect. For those of you who are students of economics, you know that if you spend money, the recipient of that money would spend money, and it has a multiplier effect. And that would create jobs. There's a higher yield in investing in properties in Africa. I've got clients who are investing in Cape Town. We've done some work for the banks in Cape repossession. I hope I'm going to have this. Look, investment in real estate is a fantastic idea. Did you know that if you invest in areas that the prices are about to come up, you're not just only going to get yield for yourself, you'll be creating accommodation for people for low-income people, and of course the money, the income that you spend, house builders could use it to build more properties, and that would increase and improve the area. It's called regeneration. It's an indirect way of regenerating an area, and I feel that we could do a lot for Africa by thinking of yourself. I think, was it Adam Smith? I don't know if you students will come. He says that if you have a self-interest for yourself, indirectly, it benefits the community. Because by looking at profit for yourself, indirectly, you create opportunity. So the issue of thinking of investment for yourself would also benefit the community that you're investing in. So that's the issue about investment. I could take questions, I could go on and on about investment, but I'm told I've got 5 minutes, so I'll stop and take questions if you have any.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Godwin, for that brief introduction. What I will do, I'll quickly ask you some questions about regeneration. How can we tie regeneration that is existing in the developed countries, in the developed world, and regeneration in Africa? Because regeneration, as we understand it, is these areas that have been run down, the government pumps in funds to change that locality, bring in libraries, bring in all sorts, to boost the area. How can we bring in regeneration into Africa?
Well, look, if you have to wait for the government to regenerate, knowing the government arrives, you'll be waiting for a very long time. So, if you invest in an area and you improve your property, by you improving your property individually, you are regenerating individually. So think of 5 or 10 people investing in a place in, let's say, some rundown part of Lagos, and they improve that area. Just that improvement, the next person investing would see you doing that and would do the same thing. So by individually investing, you're indirectly regenerating the area. And once the government see that step, they then would take the step to do that. But if you have to wait, you'll be waiting for a long time, is my point.
All right. Thank you very much for that clarification. What we will do, we'll look at power, because it's very critical to development across Africa. And I would like to start with Mr. David Smith. So we'll look at power across Africa and how the West or the developed countries have been able to manage their power production and how we have not been able to manage our power production. Then we'll also, because power is very critical to job creation, and we'll also like to talk about the SMEs. How can investors also benefit from doing businesses in Africa? Especially knowing that we have high interest rates. So what sort of models can we, copy from developed countries, and how can we tailor it to Africa?
Let's start with the power situation. I mean, there's a lot of talk about solar power, and there are some very interesting developments going on in that area. My first introduction to solar power was through a company in Bangladesh, where they had taken what I call as the radio rentals model, where they installed the equipment and you paid a small daily fee, which in Bangladesh terms was 15 to 18 cents a day, and you had your electricity through a solar panel that was installed on your house. The way they did it was through network marketing, so immediately all your neighbours knew that you had solar power, they wanted solar power as well, and then they knew when you hadn't paid your 15 cents, and so you made sure you paid your 15 cents. They're now installing 10,000 homes a